Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of A View from Rounds Tower. Today, Rodney's doing an interview upstairs in the hub, so follow me and let's go check it out.
Thanks, Carson, and welcome back to another edition of A View from Rounds Tower. I'm here with a couple of my faculty colleagues, and we're continuing this conversation that we started a few weeks ago about some of the changes that are going on at Plymouth State. And today we're here to talk a little bit about general education. I'll let these guys introduce themselves when they start chatting. But if you guys could talk a little bit about, so we've got some changes in general education. Can you tell us a little bit about those changes?
Hi, I'm Jason. I'm one of the directors for the School of Integrated Liberal Arts. The recent change to Gen Ed had to do with reframing general education from maybe the system you remember, which is more of a distributive model. It's right, take a little bit of this, a little bit of this. It's reframing it around the idea of skills, and specifically the skills that we believe you need and students need to be successful as both leaders and professionals, both in their communities and in their careers. It's an uncertain world, and it's increasingly uncertain. And we believe students absolutely need to come out of Plymouth State with these abilities, and not just having had a class or two, but a sequence of courses where will obtain certificates. That way, on their LinkedIn profile, when they leave here on their transcript, they have these skills that they can talk about both with their employers, but also that they feel like they've achieved something.
I love that.
Yeah, that's a great answer. My name is John. I am the other director of the School of Integrated Liberal Arts, SILA as we call it for short. And I would add to those great comments from Jason that in some ways we're doing something that Plymouth State has already been known for doing, which is being on the cutting edge. So many years ago, we recreated our general education program away from taking so many perspective classes, which was that distributive model where you take a science and you take an English and you take a history and a philosophy. And we realized students were feeling like this was a lot like high school, where there was like, oh, I have to take one of those social science or social studies and make it a little bit more purposeful for students. So we created what we called directions classes, which were a bridge between your first year experience of composition and math foundations and a first year seminar, which we now call tackling a wicked problem. And that bridge of directions led to an integrated capstone. And we're calling those that middle part the pathways, where you get to choose a skill or more that you really want to focus on. So it's no longer checking a box of gen ed, like, oh, I have to take some philosophy class, and it's like, oh, what are my choices so that I can develop this school and be a more successful Panther when I graduate.
I love that. What are some of the kind of skills pathways that maybe would be available for students to pursue?
Well, we have 10 skill pathways. Among them are coordinating organizations, communicating strategically, reasoning ethically, quantitative and qualitative inquiry, navigating cultures, managing conflict, which I would argue is probably a pretty important skill in the workplace. I think the important thing, especially for incoming students to know, is that there is no such thing as a wasted class. There isn't an idle class, a class you just have to take, right? Some boring class that you're like, oh, I can't believe that they're making me take this. This is all about student choice. And the idea that you can customize your experience, your general education experience, to say, I know I need these skills. I want to be a professional. I want to make a difference. And these skills will help me make a difference. And so, the important thing, especially for students who are coming in, who are worried about the return on their investment, who are worried, right, and rightly so, about the money they're spending. Am I getting everything I can possibly get? Our general education program now is tailored to that mindset.
This is all really exciting. I think what, for me, this breaks the mold, I think, of any stereotype of what people think about the ivory tower unchanging. It's so clear that you as professors are thinking constantly about what do our students need? How do we present it in a way that's approachable for them, that they can understand and they can use it and apply? And makes me so proud to work at a place that we're doing this. And I hope you all feel proud about that too. If you have any questions about general education, about pathways, send them to me, alumni at plymouth.edu. Jason, John, thank you guys both for your passion and for just taking a little time to chat with us about this. It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
We'll have to circle back in a year's time and see where we're at, and you can tell us how it's going. And what continues to change and
Yeah.
any new things that are with it.
Sounds good.
That sounds great.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for joining us for another edition of A View from Rounds Tower. We'll see you next time.